the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Paige Rienzo is my guest today. We'll be diving into her story. You might know her if you're a fan of HGTV. She spent years as a designer for HGTV on the hit show Hidden Potential for 5 seasons. And although that will be a very fun topic, and perhaps we'll dive into design on another day, Paige has actually written a number of books on bringing beautiful design into our home and loving our home, growing to love our home. You can find her at PaigeRien.com. That's Paige, RIEN.com. Paige Rienzo, welcome to Trending. I have been looking forward to speaking with you for a while. I know you've spent about 30 years now in recovery, and you are so candid about your story. And part of what intrigued me about your story, I know we were talking before, is the significance of how our culture so often takes our faith and offers something counterfeit, and that something such as a 12-step program will offer you an element of Christianity, and then people suddenly turn to much of the allure in our common culture right now of the New Age. It seems to be everywhere with yoga, Buddhism, Hinduism. Many people say I'm spiritual, not religious. And for a lot of people who are recovering from substance abuse to traumas, they often find themselves in a healing journey that ends up leading them down the path of New Age during sobriety. So I'd love to dive in by discussing, maybe you could start with briefly how you found yourself in a substance abuse 12-step program. Share a little bit of your past and how you kind of slid into some of the New Age practices with that healing process.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Timmerie, for having me. I'm honored to be here and to speak on these important topics and to share my story. You know, I have a heart for anyone that sort of doesn't have the church as part of like growing up with it. And definitely I did not have that. And I was just sort of like handling some stuff as a young person with not a lot of coping mechanisms, not a lot of formation, developed some bad habits. It began with sort of some self-destructive habits with food. And then as I got older, sort of transferred some of those self-destructive habits to alcohol. I also transferred those self-destructive habits to the way I spend money and even work. I mean, I sort of have an impulsive, compulsive, addictive personality in a lot of different directions. And especially without the grounding of faith and the Lord in my life, that intensity can just turn in on a person like me. And so I was very young in college and in an outpatient program. And then after college, I tried to live on my own, and everything kind of came together to a head, and I really needed to just surrender and begin 2 12-step programs, actually, one for food and one for alcohol. And in the world of recovery, we call that a double winner, which is a funny little cheeky way of saying it, but essentially I needed help. I needed a recover even from just old habits. And some of these patterns and the addictions and patterns are not necessarily the problem. It's what we do to address the problem, right? It's just our solution without coping mechanisms, without a relationship with the Lord, without a prayer practice, without like the tools that we all need to like sort of navigate tough seasons of life. Without that, sometimes we go to habits that become addiction.
This entire episode of Trending with Timmerie is on the Relevant Radio app. The Relevant Radio app is completely free and updated daily with fresh articles, podcasts, and prayers. Don't delay, download the app today, and thanks for listening.